Hi, yogis and bobcats. Welcome to the Ohio University virtual fitness page. If you don't know me, my name is Kaya. I'm a yoga instructor at Ping Recreation Center, and today we're going to be doing 30 minutes of Yin Yoga. We're going to be staying on the floor, so a lot of restorative postures and holding those postures for anywhere from 2 to 6 minutes. We'll be staying on the shorter side of that because this is a shorter class, only 30 minutes. And the goal is to work into the connective tissues of the body, so the fascia, the ligaments, the tendons, all that good stuff. For copyright reasons, I will not be playing any of my music today, but you're welcome to play some music, some ambient music that doesn't have any lyrics that won't be distracting to you, or you can practice in silence like I do. If you are participating in the Nurse and Movement Challenge, please go online to the Nurse and Movement portal after class and log your hours for working out or doing a mind-body practice today. And some sad news, if you didn't hear on Monday, unfortunately, the university, just due to some budget cuts, we will not be able to continue doing the virtual live streams after this week. So this is going to be my last Yin class. So thank you so much if you've been tuning in regularly. And just know that all of these classes, the live classes, as well as all my pre-recorded videos, will stay on our channels. We have over 100 virtual fitness videos still available after this week. So feel free to take advantage of those. And with that, we're going to get started. We don't need any props today. So start in a tall seat. I'm sitting on my knees in Bosana, hero's pose, but you can also sit cross-legged or any way that you can find a nice tall spine. And close your eyes. Start to settle in here. Come into your breath. Starting to take inventory of the sensations in your body, of the stimuli coming in from outside, and the thoughts that float through your mind. And then we'll start with 3 shoulder shrugs. So inhale to lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And with an exhale, drop them down. Audible exhale. And again, inhale, lift them slowly up towards your ears. Exhale, release. Last one, inhale, draw the shoulders up. Exhale, drop. Good. And then from here, we'll come onto our bellies into a prone position. And we're going to take reverse shavasana to begin. So you'll bring your hands by your sides. Let your left ear rest on the mat or on the ground. And that's it. That's the whole pose. This is a really nice, gentle stretch in the neck, working up from the shoulders, the neck muscles into the upper neck. And even though you may not feel a lot of sensation, just know that it's working on your body. Give yourself permission to take rest here as we settle into class. Starting to bring the focus and awareness back to the breath each time your mind wanders. And carefully tuning your awareness to the gentle stretch in your neck, bringing the inhales into those parts of the body. And using each exhale to settle yourself deeper into the ground, relaxing the muscles a little bit more. Feeling the breath in the low back,
allowing your ribs and your low back to expand up each time you inhale, drawing that breath all the way into the belly. And then slowly, with control, releasing it. On your next inhale, slowly bringing your chin to center, leaving the arms relaxed by the side. And then we'll exhale to drop the right ear, the right side of the head to the mat, finding reverse shavasana on the opposite side. Maybe you notice that this side isn't quite as open as the other. Sending, again, your breath into the parts of the body where you experience the sensation in each posture. Fully relax through the shoulders and upper back. Allow the shoulder heads to roll forward. Allow the weight of your arms to press down into the mat. And do the same throughout your body, releasing your torso a little heavier, your thighs, your kneecaps, the tops of your shins, your feet, releasing all the way down to your toes, fully melting down. Take one more full round of breath all the way into the lower back. Then bring your hands up by your sides and eventually the forearms to rest on the mat in front of you so that the shoulders are right above the elbows and the hands rest comfortably on the mat, pressing the weight gently into the forearms. And as opposed to a power vinyasa version of this pose where we might be pressing really firmly into our arms and dragging the mat towards us, so to speak, and lifting up out of the heart, feel free to kind of relax into this pose. Let your heart melt through your shoulders and let your shoulder heads roll forward a bit. And then when you're ready, maybe you let your head drop heavy, your chin to your chest, finding that gentle stretch in the back of your neck, as well as through the whole heart, front body. Notice where you're holding tension and see where you can let go. And let the ground really support you here. Maybe you're holding through your forehead, your jaw. Go ahead and release your tongue from the top of your mouth. loosening all the way down to the tippy toes once more. And just melt your way into your forearms, into your hips, into your feet. Just a few more breaths here. Breathing remains slow and controlled as you start to press your way into your hands. Scooch them a little bit closer in towards you. Bring your knees a little wider and then press all the way back to child's pose. Sit your hips on your heels. Reach the arms forward in front of you and rest the forehead on the mat. Then take a moment here to get settled, to find that comfortable spot resting in your hips. Maybe you bring your knees a little wider if that feels better today, or a little narrower if you're looking for more of a stretch in the low back. And then again, release everything down into the ground. The knees, the hands, the forehead. Maybe rock your head from side to side, giving your third eye a little massage. Fully breathing into the sensation in this posture, wherever that may lie. Maybe it's in your hip flexors, your outer thighs, your low back, your shoulders, your back. Taking the time to become really aware of the sensations in your body. Resting in complete stillness. This is one of the main principles of Yin. Once we find our edge, that place sitting between comfort and discomfort, that we can then find complete stillness, relax the muscles, and let gravity do its work on our connective tissues, on those rough materials that surround the muscles, that build up from habitual movements and overuse, and that can become very difficult to break down. And so we sit in stillness. Let's take 3 more breaths in our child's pose, filling all the way up, down the spine, with the chest into the belly, letting the ribs expand before exhaling, nice and slow, releasing it out. 2 more breaths. And we'll all inhale to come forward to a tabletop. Just to kind of bring some weight off our knees real quick, we can just tap the tops of our feet into the mat. Good. And then if you're comfortable in your child's pose, just go ahead and bring your big toes back together and sit back to your child's pose. If your hips are feeling open and you're ready to move on to another posture, we're going to come into frog pose. So we're going to keep our hips situated over our knees, but we're going to slowly start to work our knees a little farther out wide. And just stopping wherever feels comfortable. We're going to bring our, you can either keep the tops of your feet on the mat, or you can bring the insides of your feet to the mat, whatever feels comfortable. Make sure that your knee is in agreement with whatever you choose. Good, and then you can stay up on your hands or your fists like I am here, or you can slowly start to work your way down if that feels okay, taking it really slow. This is a really deep stretch through the whole hip joint. Good, and then if your back and your hips are feeling really open today, maybe you wiggle the elbows out farther and farther until you drop your heart to the mat. Hands can reach out long, finding this frog, child's pose, puppy, hybrid thingamabobber. Then breathing deeply again into your sensations. Maybe allow your gaze to close, to focus on those sensations. Bring some really deep bodily awareness to this moment. Breathe deeply to focus your mind in this meditation, in this posture. Just finding a moment of ease, of softness, even despite all of the sensation. Breathing and finding some quietness, some peace in your mind. We'll take 5 more breaths wherever you landed. On your next inhale, we'll come out of this very, very slowly if you've taken prone frog. So we'll start to press into our hands, come back to your forearms if you're not already there. And then as you start to lift up and out of your hips, you can bring your toes back together and then lift up and bring the knees back together. And then maybe just rock, bringing some life back into your hips. Good, and then we're going to come back to prone onto our bellies. Bring the right arm out to the side at about a 90-degree angle. And then using your left hand into the mat, gently push over so that you're rolling your body onto your right side, over the right shoulder. Your left foot can stack on top of your right leg. You can bring your left foot to the mat behind your right leg so that the left knee points up to the sky. Maybe you just pause here, observing the sensations, seeing what your body is asking you to do. If you feel you have more space, maybe you roll a little farther over onto the right hand. Keep pressing down into the right palm as you lift the right foot to the mat, right knee to the sky, finding a deep twist and shoulder stretch. And if you have your right knee up to the sky, maybe you reach back with your left hand to drop behind your back. Then breathe into this full body stretch, to this deep twist, the shoulder stretch. If at any point you come too far into a posture and you're having a hard time finding stillness, feel free to move a little farther out of it, to find some place where you are at your edge, where it's easy, not necessarily easy, but manageable to sit and breathe through the sensation. And if it's painful, always avoid pain, back out of it if you're feeling any kind of pain. In your next exhale, you can slowly begin to roll back onto your belly, releasing the weight off your right arm, the left leg back to the mat if it wasn't already there. Good. And then maybe just shake out that right arm, relieving some of that tension. Then we'll bring, going to the other side, our left arm out to the T and slowly start to press into your right hand to lift onto your left side. Again, maybe the right leg stays here on top of the left leg. Maybe you point the right knee up towards the sky. Maybe you point both knees up towards the sky. Maybe you drop the right hand behind the back as you press into the left palm of the hand into the mat. Breathing into the twist, into the full body stretch. Just relishing in this moment of bodily awareness. Allow any sensations of discomfort or impatience to morph into delight and ease. Let this pose be restful and nurturing to the body. Using your exhale, start to ease off the left side, coming back to the belly. And then again, maybe you shake out the left arm. And then we'll thread one arm under the other and roll all the way onto our backs. And then maybe shift your way back onto your mat if you found your way off of it. And come to Shavasana. Bring your arms by the sides, about as wide as the mat, palms face up. Feet can be as wide as the mat, maybe even wider. Long spine. Relax everything. Do a quick body scan up from the toes all the way to the crown of the head, releasing every little muscle down into the mat. And take rest. Start to bring your awareness back into your breath. Making each inhale deeper and longer than the last. And as the prana fills your body, begin to awaken through the fingers and the toes. The face, the ankles, the wrists. You open your mouth nice and wide, stick your tongue out. Start to bend at the knees and the elbows. Rock the head from side to side. Slowly, primally coming back to life. Taking whatever movements feel good to your body right now. Just take a moment to roll around on the ground. Reacting to your body's sensations. Just doing whatever feels good. And then finally, reach the arms overhead, the feet towards the bottom of the mat. Reach out in opposite directions. And roll over onto your right side using your arm as a pillow. Taking a moment to recognize this newfound bodily awareness. Notice the energy flowing through your veins, the movement of the breath, the sensations in the body, and the thoughts in the mind. And whenever you're ready, start to press up to a tall cross-legged seat, keeping the gaze soft. Bringing the palms to touch in Anjali Mudra. I'd like to end class today with one chant of Om. You're welcome to join me or just listen. We'll take one cleansing round of breath together. Inhale through the nose, all the way into the belly. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale for the Om. Bow and say Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me for these live streams for the past couple of weeks. I've really loved being able to practice with you. It has really brought some wonderful structure and energy to my quarantine days, certainly. Again, if you're interested in continuing with my yoga classes, all of these videos will be available on our channel, as well as all of the pre-recorded videos. And there's also lots of wonderful yoga resources online and on YouTube. So I encourage you to check those out and continue practicing from your home during these days and perhaps even after. So thank you guys so much for joining me.